Just past 11 o'clock, Friday morning. Sammy Kershaw here on KBLP. It is time to talk to our movie guy. Matt Evans is joining us to talk a little bit about some movie news and some of the things going on at the theater this weekend. Matt's excited. He's ready to roll today and talk to all of our listeners out there. So good morning, Matt.
Good morning. We've been talking for weeks about how February is where it really starts to ramp up, and last week we had a lot of news. This week it's another jam-packed week. Before I get into it this week, I do want to shout out my little brother. It's his 28th birthday today, so happy birthday, Jacob.
Nice. How old?
28, which makes me, about 70.
Oh yeah, when you say your little brother's almost 30, that's
right. I feel it, and instantly my joints start to creak just from saying it.
Right. Well, we'll let you talk some movie news, and then you can go have a nap or something. Okay.
Right, and a nap and a 3:00 dinner.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. So what's going on? Anything new this week?
Just a couple of things. We talked about last week that the rumor was that the Solo trailer for the new Han Solo movie was going to be debuting at the Super Bowl, and sure enough, they gave us a little teaser, followed up the next morning by a full trailer. So we got our first good look at the movie, and I'm pleasantly surprised. I was not expecting much. I didn't have high hopes for it, but after just that first little teaser, I'm a little bit more positive. I'm trending positive for the movie. Reports are also coming out that Harrison Ford he stayed offset, but he acted as a mentor to Alden Ehrenreich, which plays Han Solo. So that also gives me a little bit of comfort. Having the original Han kind of teaching the younger generation how to pull the character off is pretty much invaluable when it comes to something like this.
Right, and with an iconic character like Han Solo, I mean, you're never going to recapture what Harrison Ford has done with the character. So it kind of takes a little bit of imagination and open-mindedness, I guess, when you see a different actor portraying a younger version of what you've come to know and love over all the years.
Right, and one of the really cool things about it is that Alden really does nail the look very well. If you watch the trailer, he nails the look. His voice was a little off for me, but it's really hard to sound like Harrison Ford and not make it sound like you're doing a shtick.
Right.
So I'm glad that they didn't try to force him into trying to emulate his voice so much. But just a little. I mean, we didn't get a lot. It's not like we got a rundown of the synopsis or anything like that. We didn't get a whole lot from this trailer, but we did get a couple good scenes where it can really show Alden playing the character. And Lando, we were just talking about it before we went on. Donald Glover is Lando Calrissian. That is exciting. I think he's probably going to be the breakout star of this movie.
Well, you and I have talked about it before. I have kind of a love-hate relationship with movie trailers because I don't like to know too much before I go into to see the film. But yeah, you were spot on. That trailer really didn't give anything away. Some people are speculating that it didn't give anything away because they're still working on finishing the movie, and I don't know how much truth there is to that. But it had that Star Wars feel to it, and it's looking like it's going to be a fun film.
Right, and it's kind of a unique thing. We never really got, years ago, we never really got teaser trailers. The movie trailers would come out, and they would just pretty much spoil everything. Now they're kind of doing this teaser trailer and then regular trailer. Right. So if you kind of want to not be spoiled, if you don't want any of those plot details, those teasers are out there to kind of whet your appetite but not give away too much. And Disney did a really good job with this trailer. And as far as the reports that the film may not be finished yet, I'm going to go out on a limb right now, and I can guarantee that film's not finished yet. They just got done filming the reshoots. It takes a couple months. I wouldn't be surprised if the final CGI touch-ups were done within a month of launch, so, April.
Wow.
It really is pushing the budget. That's why when the rumors came out that they were going to maybe pushing the release date back, it's not too inconceivable. With your reshoots, coming up to the last moment like this, there's going to be a lot of those extra shots and CGI and stuff that they are going to be finishing still. It's almost like a race to May at this point.
Right. Well, it's still set for a Memorial Day weekend movie release. That's a crowded time of year, though, Matt. There's a lot of films that will be popping out during that time too.
Right, and Star Wars has got this thing, a lot of people are expecting this one to not be as big as the other Star Wars, and I think Disney understands that. Disney is almost flooding the market with Star Wars movies. We've got a trilogy coming from Rian Johnson. They just announced this week that Benioff and Weiss, from the creators of Game of Thrones, were going to be directing a couple of Star Wars movies. So I'm fully confident that Disney understands what they're doing as far as flooding the market. They know that not every movie in this franchise is going to be those billion-dollar mega hits, but by the same token, there's always a built-in audience. You know, you can put 2 hours of a Star Wars crawl with no action, and people are going to buy tickets for it.
Right. Well, you and I could talk Star Wars until everybody falls asleep, but so there's other things to talk about too. What else is in the news this week?
We also got another quick teaser for the Infinity Wars movie, the Avengers third film. It came out during the Super Bowl as well, and that was just a little, like, 30-second trailer. But we were just talking about CGI and how it's a process. If you look at some of the trailers when they come out for these movies, a lot of times the CGI is not finished or it's not polished up. This trailer from Infinity Wars, if you look at Josh Brolin's Thanos in this trailer compared to the last Infinity Wars trailer, you can definitely see the evolution of the CGI. And it looks fantastic. I mean, they did a really great job on it. So you can see a much more polished look on this one, which is really exciting. We also got a trailer this week for Venom, which is a Tom Hardy Spider-Man spinoff. He plays the titular character, Venom. And that we got a little teaser for that. Not a lot of CGI in that one, too, but that goes back to that same CGI thing we were just talking about, where it literally just wrapped filming a couple weeks ago, so they just haven't had time to do any of those effects just yet. Right.
It's a process. We're talking to our movie guy, Matt Evans, here on a Friday. Matt, anything else newsworthy this week?
Well, since we're talking about unfinished CGI, we have to bring up the Deadpool 2 trailer that just came out. There's an in-joke in the trailer about unfinished CGI, so it's kind of appropriate to add right now. It's probably the funniest movie trailer I've ever seen in my entire life. Just don't let the little kiddos watch it, because it is definitely an adult, hard R kind of rated trailer. But it's hilarious. They even do a little jab at the Disney Fox purchase, which is kind of funny.
Oh, cool. All right, so that's another one of those films that's coming out there in the blockbuster season in the spring and early summer.
Right,
so.
We got some stuff a little further out, too. Some news came out this week. We talked a couple times about how DC is kind of shifting their portfolio and kind of moving away from their expanded universe where everything is connected and starting to do some standalone films. Well, it's been reported that Joaquin Phoenix is in talks to play the Joker in a Joker standalone film.
Wow, Joaquin Phoenix. That's an interesting choice.
It is definitely an interesting choice, but when it comes to the Joker, I try not to question the actor they choose until I see the film. And Heath Ledger's the whole reason for that, because if you remember when Heath Ledger was announced as the Joker, the internet went crazy. Everybody thought it was a terrible choice, and now he's pretty much universally considered the best Joker aside from Mark Hamill. Joaquin Phoenix is another method actor, like Jared Leto. So I'm curious to see some of the off scene stuff, some of the behind the scenes stuff, because I have a feeling it's going to be another weird story.
Well, before we run out of time here, there are a couple of new movies that are in theaters opening this weekend, including Clint Eastwood's new directorial effort. Great to see that Clint Eastwood is still putting out quality films like this one looks like it is.
Right, and Clint Eastwood is a legendary actor, but he's also proven his chops with directing. He's got some really great films under his belt. Bridges of Madison County, Gran Torino, American Sniper, some of the best movies ever made. And this one looks a lot like that as far as, quality goes. 1517 to Paris comes out today. And not only is it a true story about American heroes, fighting a terrorist attack, they actually cast the actual heroes in this movie. So it's not a bunch of actors playing the roles. It's the 4 soldiers from the train that actually were involved. As far as realism goes, you'll never see a movie that's closer to realism than something like this.
Right. That's I was looking at. I remember when I first heard about this film and was curious to see who was in it, and looked at the cast and didn't recognize any of the names, and then heard about the fact that they're casting actual people that were involved in what happened.
Right, and Clint Eastwood's done something lately. It started kind of with American Sniper. His movies tend to highlight the American hero, and I think it's something, especially right now, we could all use a positive story that kind of brings us together. There's lots of division going on in pretty much everything. So a movie like this where we can all come together and just enjoy the film for being entertaining, but also understand and respect that these people aren't just actors on the screen. They're reliving a harrowing moment from their own lives. I mean, that's something that you just don't see nowadays.
Right. There's another family-friendly movie out this weekend, I believe. Peter Rabbit releases.
Peter Rabbit with James Corden and Daisy Ridley. Yeah, that looks really good too. James Corden's one of my favorite comedians, or working today. His show is hilarious. He's just a funny person. And if you watch the trailers for this and don't want to go see it, you're not even human.
So that's out today, and also the new the 50 Shades, 50
Shades
Shades
Freed.
Freed.
Finally, the end of that trilogy.
So I'm guessing you're not a fan specifically.
I am not a fan. I have to say I was forced to watch the first one, and I refuse to watch anymore.
Okay. So those are out this weekend, and of course, you still have a lot of great films in the theaters. We were, my co-host Gina and I were just talking about Hostels, that she was going to check that one out, and then that's getting a lot of attention.
Hostels looks really good. Winchester's not getting a lot of buzz, but I mean, how can you go wrong with Helen Mirren?
Right.
And that movie's out right now, and that one excites me too. I grew up an hour from the Winchester Mystery House.
Wow.
So I remember as a kid, every time I was driving to go see family 4 or 5 times a year, you pass these big signs for the Winchester Mystery House, which is kind of what this movie is based on, the Winchester gun family. But I would definitely check out that movie as well. Jumanji is still playing. If you haven't seen that one, that's one of the better movies of the year so far. Quite a bit of good films coming out that are either out or coming out in the next month. So you definitely have choices. No matter what genre you're into, you're going to find something that satisfies your movie cravings.
And it's only going to get better as we get into the blockbuster season. Just right
better is subjective. Well, it's going to get busier. That's for sure.
It's going to get bigger and more crowded and busier. Sure. All right. Well, Matt, you'll be here every Friday to keep us up to date on all the news that we need to know. So thanks for taking some time to talk to us. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for having me.
All right.